So I met up with Heather. Heather is a motorcyclist, and we met at the border of Malaysia and Thailand. This is when I was coming back on my round the world trip, and there were 4 bikes and 5 people, and as a group we all went from Malaysia into Thailand, into Myanmar, and right up till Guwahati we were together. We had a lovely time, and I caught up with Heather, and she's going to be telling us why does she ride. Have a look.
So I'm originally from California, and I've worked most of my career in the video game industry, and it was actually working in that industry that brought me the first time to India and also riding a motorbike. I was working at Zynga on a game called Farmville, and it was getting moved to the Bangalore office. So the company sent me to Bangalore for 2 months, and when I went there I fell in love with India, and all my colleagues were crazy about motorbikes, so they convinced me to go on a weekend trip with them out to Yercaud, and I borrowed a friend's Duke 200 bike, and the very first day I rode it I crashed it. Luckily I survived, but fell in love with motorbiking, fell in love in India. So when I got back home, quit my job, moved to Germany, then moved to London, got a motorbike there, spent time riding motorbikes, but I knew I wanted to go back in India with my own motorbike this time. I knew I wanted to do a big trip by motorbike because I really think a motorcycle is the best way to see the world. There's almost nowhere on the planet you can't get by motorbike, because sometimes a car is too big and a bicycle is too slow, but no matter what, the motorbike will get you there. In most of the world, the people, they live on motorbikes, so when you're there also in a motorbike, you're really part of what's happening, where in a car you're sealed off. So being on a motorbike lets you experience in some way how the people live in each of those countries, and that's really why I wanted to do it, even though sometimes it's really hot, it's really tiring. There's sometimes I really wish I had air conditioning and the space for extra luggage that being a car would have, but I don't think I would do it any different. In all the countries I went to in between Indonesia back to the UK, I don't think there was one I didn't like. I have great stories and great memories in each of them. Some of them were easier, some of them were harder, some of them I spent more time in than others, but one that always sticks out in my mind as just being so unique was Kyrgyzstan. So I had crossed into Kyrgyzstan from Kazakhstan, and as I went through the border, it was really rough dirt road, but it was just green as far as the eye could see. And in Kyrgyzstan, the people are all still nomadic. They live in yurts and they tend their horses. And as I'm riding along this dirt road on my motorcycle, out rides this boy, couldn't have been more than 10 years old, riding bareback on a horse, and he pulls up next to me and he's racing along, and I look, and then he peels away and he heads towards his yurt where his family is herding the horses in, and I just laugh. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in Kyrgyzstan, I can't believe it. And that's one of the more beautiful memories I think I have of the trip.
Hey Heather, it's lovely to chat with you. I learned so much from you, the way you go about doing your solo ride. Thank you very much for being on the show. Bye-bye.